Hi, hello. You're gonna be your therapist for the day. I see right here that you are struggling with loss. Is that correct? You're struggling with loss? Are you struggling with loss? Why are you struggling with loss right here? Because it says it right here. You're struggling with loss. And it says something about multiple personalities. Is that correct? And they're all struggling with loss. How did this happen? Wild card weekend. What does that mean? Football. Interesting. I don't know if I am equipped for that kind of knowledge. What was your name? Yeah, that lines up. That matches. Alright. You know what? Let's give it a go. Where did it all start? The quarterback. Yeah. That makes sense. You know what? Take me back. Walk me back through it. What's the whole process look like? What's the whole process look like to you? Interesting. So it was pain, a whole lot more pain. If I'm understanding correctly, did you have your hopes up? With in the softest way possible. That's where you messed up. Yeah, you gotta. By the way, I'm gonna start. Our time now. So keep your eye on that, because if that gets all the way down, then you owe me 4 times the amount. It's because each one's a quarter, and I got paid per quarter. Yeah, like the refs. Yeah. Speaking of refs, did the payments go through successfully? Because there were some questions going on through some of this. But how can I help you work through this issue? Let's just start at square one. Like I said, we talked about we mentioned the quarterback. We didn't really talk about the quarterback. And now I need to know, what team am I talking about? What team? Okay, Cowboys. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, statistically, it makes sense too. Now, why did you have hopes? Are you a first-year Cowboys fan? No? Then why did you have hopes? What were your expectations, if not to get eliminated early in the playoffs after a successful year? It's very Cowboys. No, I get it. The Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl next year. I get it. You know what's crazy, though? It's the first year I haven't heard that. It's the first year I haven't heard that after their loss. Every time I hear that, it's always been like, they're so naive. I haven't heard it this year. If I've ever heard it, it's been in jest, even by Cowboys fans. Are they starting to catch on? Are they starting to realize? Or are they starting to come to terms with their situation? Are you coming to terms with the situation? The fact that Dak Prescott is still a question mark. MVP candidate, MVP leading candidate for most of the year, and deserving of the MVP in this therapist's opinion. What the fuck happened? What is Dakota Rain Prescott doing throwing some of those balls, some of those picks, including another one of them that should have been another pick? So he had some questionable play, to say the least. I do think the game is much worse without him, though, because I don't think he's 100% to blame. I think he had bad play at very bad times, surrounded by mostly good play. I think you can cope with that. I think you can build on that. I think you need to calm down a little bit. I think you need to remember that he is still your franchise quarterback. Because you gotta remember, if this is part of the problem, you have three options. You have three options, and you can do multiple. You can fire your head coach. You can fire your quarterback or trade him, or you can fire / sell the team. You gotta sell the team. Jerry Jones is not gonna sell the team. Jerry Jones is gonna die before that. That's perfectly fine. So you can either get rid of the quarterback, or you can get rid of the head coach. I think they're gonna get rid of the head coach, because they're not gonna stand status quo with that performance. Can they accept that performance? I don't necessarily think they're going to fire McCarthy until they have somebody already ready, like somebody like Belichick, or somebody else that they like, maybe even Ben Johnson. You know what I mean? Someone that is high up on the coach list. What do you think? What do you think? Look at me. You can cope with that. You can realize that. You can be calm. You can be calm with that. Yeah, it's not that bad. You maybe might get Bill Belichick, and you still have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Michael Parsons is going to be an all-pro. You can calm down. It's cope. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Cowboys. It's okay. The Cowboys are okay. All right, so you look a lot more calm. You look a lot more angry now. It must be that you know, the MPD acting up. No, that was not MVP. No, that's not what I said. Not at all. No, I'm not gonna repeat it. But no. You know, you're an Eagles fan, aren't you? I can just tell by your aggressive demeanor. Interesting. I don't know why you're mad at me. I'm just here to help. I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing in the world. You still got Jalen Hurts, who's, you know, part of the problem in my opinion. But he's better than Sirianni is. Sirianni might be gone, because the Eagles are historically short-tempered in terms of not just their fan base, but their ownership in terms of productivity on the field. A playoff berth is a playoff berth, though, even if backpedaled into one. There's a large shift coming at the Eagles organization in time. It seems they've been putting it off. Like with their defensive line, they've been holding on to Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. They both are free agents this offseason again. So I think that shows that it's been like a one last ride situation, which means there's going to be some flipping. They've already prepared for said flipping with their draft picks of Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and others. So I think that they can, you know, replace it fairly okay. So they're not going to be down bad. They just need to get corner help and safety help bad. They are awful for some reason. That's not a normal thing, though, right? With no. And Jalen Hurts, he's good. He does have some moments where he's just bad. But he's good. He's very good. I don't know how long you're gonna get to keep Devontae Smith and AJ Brown for, but you still got both of them for now. The Eagles team could shift very good, very fast. You just need to calm down. You're being a little aggressive toward me again. I see you furrowing your brow. You need to calm down. You need to look at this team dead in the mirror and be like, did you really watch? No, exactly. Sure, you had expectations because on paper and like that, you know, whatever. But no. You saw the last half of the season. You saw the last game with the Giants. You knew what this was. You knew what this was. You saw Tampa as a good team. You knew what this was. Your only hope was that Julio Jones could will you to, the win, which you guys started to rely on, and then he got hurt, which it's really just unfortunate. But you needed to calm down. Remember, you got other successful sports in Philly, and you don't need an excuse to riot. Go do it. Go do it, Philly. Just go do it. You look a lot more laid back. At least I can tell whenever I've helped you fully cope with the team. You look a lot more laid back now. Excuse me just 1 second. Here we go. Excuse me. I had to rinse my throat. By rinse I mean I had to put some water down my mouth. You look a lot more kind of bothered, but more so laid back. Is that a Miami thing? Is that like a dolphin? Is it like a dolphin thing? Okay. Okay. How do I help you cope? All right. Well, let's think about this. If you won against Buffalo, the last game of the year, you guys would have won your division. You guys would have been the second seed or the third seed. I'm pretty sure the second seed, right? So if you're the second seed, like Buffalo was, you guys would have hosted that game against Kansas City. Sorry, not Kansas City. You guys would have hosted that game against the Steelers. I think they would have handled the Steelers better. I think their offense is fast enough that it would work against their struggling to tackle defense. And most importantly, you'd have home field aside from the Ravens, so they'd be able to be in a warm stadium until they go to Baltimore if they survived those games. That's one game away from happening. On the unfortunate side, you ended up on the coldest game with the most wind, so the least unfavorable conditions to your above average quarterback. Now the issue is you have an above average quarterback in a scheme that allows for the top end plays of players. You've got this next year to see if Tua continues to develop, continues to be that guy, can have another good streak rather than just okay. And if you can't, then you trade him. Or you let him go and then sign someone else or do something else at quarterback. You're not tied to him after this year, I don't believe. Things look up in Miami as long as you keep Mike McDaniel. You need to calm down. You need to calm further down. If you had won that last game at the end of the year, would have been a lot better situation than you're currently at. So it's just one of those, you ended up on the bad 2 dice rolls to end the season. It's okay, Miami. Things will get better. Things will get better soon, Miami, I'm sure. Even if not after this year, it has an opportunity to. But just calm down a little bit. Alright, who else? Who else? What other personalities do you have? What other personality disorders? No, use the name disorder. What other personalities do you have? Are you a Rams fan? You are? That's weird. There's not many of those. And you're upset about pass interference? Don't get me wrong. I mean, as a person that believes in human rights, I always believe fuck the Saints. But you gotta admit, the Rams got away with pass interference historically there. It was bound to come back around eventually, right? Right. I agree. It was pass interference. He could have been called, and there was a few other moments, times in the game where it was a little bit iffy. But there was a few other times where it was a little bit iffy toward the Lions as well, and the Lions historically get fucked over by the refs. You guys got a Super Bowl. You guys bought a Super Bowl 2 years ago with the cup thing. You guys, the cup should have been. I remember there should have been pass interference on one of the things. I had an issue with the I think it was holding. I had an issue with multiple calls at the end of that. So that seems like it seemed even more egregiously like ref called that game than it was the Chiefs game. So you just need to calm down a little bit about that because it's not that important. Because you already ended up on your positive side of the track. Now you're on the bad side. Now you're evened out. You're totally evened out. All right. Nakua, fucking nutso. Stafford's still great. I don't know how long he's going to be able to do it. I don't know how long Kupp's going to be able to keep doing it. But they're both operating fine for probably another year. Aaron Donald, who knows? Sean McVay will probably be the thing that stops his team from being successful. And by that, I mean once he's no longer there, the team will stop being successful. More than likely. So you've got Sean McVay. You've got a successful team. As long as he's got the GM, whose name I cannot remember, to draft as well, because that was a crazy draft this year. He's not had the most desirable of picks to work with, but he's made superstar and splash picks with what he's got, and now he's got a first-round pick. So that's some optimism right there. Hell, maybe I'll draft a quarterback to develop under Stafford. That's pretty solid. But Rams have a lot to look forward to. Aaron Donald might be going, but there's still more there. It's not that bad. You seem fairly reasonable. It means you're not a Cleveland fan. If you're not a Cleveland fan, and I've already calmed the other ones. Did the NFC? Oh, you're a Steelers fan. That makes sense. Yeah. Steelers and Browns are left, so you're a Steelers fan. Where did you get that towel? What is this? Did you get that? Okay. Wait, did you have this in your pocket the whole time? No, you cannot. Okay, just keep waving it. It's fine. I get it. I'm just gonna talk you through it. Mason Rudolph played pretty darn good, stupidly enough. So you might have something there. Can you pick it? Who the fuck knows? Go into the year with see if they can battle it out in the QB battle, and then if not. And if so, even still trade one of them. Trade Pickett more than likely because he'd probably have more trade value. Maybe not a whole lot. You did not win your division. You were competitive in your division. You won enough games to make the playoffs. You did not have a losing season again. Mike Tomlin is still there. He's still going to be with y'all. Y'all still have a team, even that was a team that failed to stay successful in all aspects, they still felt like a team. Injuries have been biting y'all hard, but there's some splashes, and there's players there. There's players there that can make that work, and with Tomlin, that's always optimistic, and you always have a reason to be optimistic with Mike Tomlin. You went through the 7 stages of grief during this whole season, and you still made the playoffs. Honestly, though, if the game had been played at the original time, which was during a blizzard, I think y'all would have won that game. it's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. I mean, it could be worse. You could be a Browns fan. That gave you closure, very good. And now here comes the last personality of Browns fan. Hi. Yeah, it's kind of weird that your personalities are all just, team fandoms. You should probably see a doctor about that. You're seeing a doctor about that. Good for you. Alright, so Cleveland. Alright, so something else that I don't like about that is, you're a Browns fan willingly, right? I get it. It's easier to root for them. Yeah, with the current quarterback situation than how it is at the start of the year. You got to think it's like karma, isn't it? Right? So like, that's karma. Then what else is gonna be coming for the Browns karmically? Like David Njoku's coming on now. David Njoku's good now. Like who would have thought? Or is he just good with Joe Flacco? What about Amari Cooper? He's very good. Sometimes. Elijah Moore? Yeah. Nick Chubb hurt, but yeah. Jerome Ford? Yeah. Deshaun Watson? The most expensive player on the team? I don't know. Don't know. He's certainly not easily likable and easy to root for. No, certainly not. The defense is getting more expensive. The defense is developing superstars that are going to have to be paid a lot of money that the Browns are going to start to run out of. And so it seems like the window that they had is kind of closing, and it wasn't even being used by the team, by the guy that's taking up most of the window. It's not easy to find a new window because you're currently like strapped to the window. It's a bad analogy, but we already used it. We're just gonna end it there. Just like the Browns. No, Browns actually still feel a little bit longer of a opening for a window, I think. But as long as Miles is good, but my injury slowed him down a lot at the end of the year. He's still probably gonna win Defensive Player of the Year because of how much the media gasses or gags on, I should say, the Browns defense, because the Browns defense was 32nd in the league on the away games, but first in the league on home games, so kind of mid, right? Is that fair? So I don't really have much closure for you in terms of your Browns fandom. I'm sorry to hear that you're a Browns fan. But I do thank y'all for taking Watson, so Atlanta doesn't, so I can continue to be a Falcons fan, as much of a struggle as it is. Well, for the rest of the playoffs, all of your teams have been removed, right? I mean, like these are your only personalities, like I guess, right? I mean, I hope. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the playoffs. Pick a new team to root for. Pick one of the ones that are remaining. Pick one you think would be the most fun to see them win. So a lot of people are going to be rooting for the Lions. I myself am rooting for the Texans. Happy playoffs. Thank you for watching. And thank you for, getting that help you needed, getting that cope. Now I'm gonna go be a therapist over here, I guess. Therapized.